Okay, I just want to forewarn everybody today that I do have everything under control. There's a plan around everything that I'm about to show you. You will see quite a bit of a mess here in a second, but just rest assured, it's all for the greater cause. First and foremost, my creative studio, like this area is coming along really well. You guys remember the L-shaped setup was this way? Well, a couple weeks ago when I was shooting a video for Asus, I actually smashed my toe on the side of that wall right here, like running behind to do some camera work. I was like, okay, how about not doing an L-shaped setup like that, so that way I was constantly running around that wall, because like that same day I bashed my toe and then I bashed my knee like a half hour later. I was like, okay, that's it. This L-shape's gotta go, because I was using it to shoot a lot. But this is still really good because I get to sit here at the window some mornings, jot down some notes, mess around on my iPad. And then I even tested like this shot. You know, what it'd look like if I just update vlogs, put it on a tripod and just sit down like this. I think it looks pretty good if you ask me. And then this is currently right now like my YouTube studio, my YouTube setup. When I get back to making videos actively, like this is where the sit down shots will be. Don't mind the whey protein and creatine. While I've been taking a break, I have been working out, but I actually did not order those things. Megan and I have never experienced this before, but apparently with Amazon, if they accidentally deliver a package to your house and it's not like one of your immediate neighbors, they just want you to keep the package. For some reason, an Amazon driver delivered a package for a whole nother community, like not even around us. And one package was creatine and whey protein, and then the other package was a bag of gowns, masks, and like surgical gloves. I swear to God, you can't make this up. Anyways, solid little sit down shot area. Ideally, wanted to use that desk, but I still had this. So I was like, I might as well utilize it while I can, because then I got enough room to have like a monitor to monitor my sit down shots once I start actively uploading again. And then I have so much more like desk space to shoot stuff. So like when I use this area, I'll move some of these things around so that way I can produce shots on this desk, kind of like what I did in that Super Bowl video. If you guys have never seen that, I'll link it down below. But you guys will notice that some things are being moved around. I'm actually doing a big clear out. I've sold so many things. I'm just finally like, okay, I don't need it, get rid of it. You guys might remember how chaotic this room was. I actually sold one of the monitors already. I got that one up for sale. I got the 2 PCs up for sale. I think one of those is gonna get sold this week. And then I'm packaging up keyboards and keycaps and then bringing those downstairs to get ready to sell as well. Now, when it comes to the gaming room, this is where I just all remind you guys and ask that you just remember this is all big picture. This is for a long-term objective, but right now, the gaming room is a little sussy. Okay, so Secretlab chair getting sold to one of my homies, but I gotta clean that up. When it comes to this area here, as you guys know, for a while, this was like my creative gaming setup when we first moved into the place. This actually was my entire setup. I used to have everything on this wall. So when I first moved in here and built this setup, based around that concept, I really thought like everything was gonna be here forever. So I ran a lot of cables behind the walls. So while I'm converting it into a movie studio, we obviously don't need those ports ran. So I wanted to clean up the wall so that way we didn't see all those like little holes before. So this past week, I started doing some drywalling to patch up things, and then we're gonna kind of like touch up things around the whole entire room. But this means that this setup should be good to go here in the next couple weeks. So maybe a little setup tour. I feel so bad because like my new Beast gaming PC has just been chilling here. Soon, my friend, we will go back. But I know this is looking crazy for now. Just trust me, give it a few weeks. This room's gonna be looking amazing. These last couple weeks have been a bit of like a cleansing of everything. You guys have seen for a while now that I've been trying to like do so many things behind the scenes, and it's just been so tough to balance everything, like doing the gaming channel, doing this, needing to do like the minor stuff that I knew that I needed to do, like for example, drywalling that room and just patching up those holes, all the way down to like taxes and selling like all these unnecessary things that we still have laying around that I don't need. So once we got back from that recent trip out to Asheville, I spent like a couple days where I was like really appreciative of like getting away, like it felt really good, but it made me reflect more on the idea like, okay, hey, you gotta take some time away and just focus on all this stuff. Cause it just feels so much better to get all these things off my shoulders and come back into the swing of things with a very clear mind. Instead of just trying to like manage everything while I need to do all this stuff. That is such a tough thing, a tough decision to make as a creator, because in this industry, especially on YouTube, consistency is key. And if you fall out of that consistency, it can hurt you in some moments. It just more so derails you. But then like on the comeback, you gotta understand that it's gonna do that. Like taking this week and a half or 2 weeks, I don't know however long I'm gonna do it, but taking all this time to not be on like a strict schedule when it comes to all this, the content, the streaming, the channels. I know the change of pace or the inconsistency that it's gonna have for this month is definitely gonna like slow down some things. And I'm just gonna have to get those engines going again. But for some creators who don't understand that, that can be like extremely detrimental. Like you can really easily self-sabotage yourself into thinking like you're screwed now. So just like, if you're a creator out there, if you take a little breather because you need to take care of you stuff, or like, God forbid, something happens to you and you need to take some time away and you come back and your numbers are a little low and things aren't as consistent as they were before, don't have like the nuclear mindset of like, you're screwed. It may take a week, a month, 2 months, hell, it may take 6 months, depending on how long and the situation and the content. But like rest assured, you get back in the rhythm, you get back in the routine of doing things the way you were doing things, or doing things for the right reason, for the passion, or the type of content that you're creating, and you'll get back to that point. Or if not, sometimes even to a better point, because by taking that time away to get rid of a lot of those problems, it puts you in a better place to be more creative. That was like my whole situation. It's just like, I needed to make sure that this place, everything around me, is a place where I can freely be creative. I mentioned so many times, like especially in the setups, like why I take my setups so serious and make them like this thing that's like a minimal, easy place for me to just come in and do. The reason why I clean up my gaming setup to minimalize it is because if I'm gonna game and stream and record and create gaming content, I want this to be a place where I come in and I just do. Same thing with content creation. I just wanna have this place where I could sit down and record and work and edit and not have clutter around, because the more stuff that I take off of the back of my mind or the weight in the back of my head, the better I feel I can produce, and the more ideas I genuinely feel like I can come up with and achieve, because I don't have that like weird anxiety or pressure of all these things behind the scenes that I know that I gotta take care of still. A lot of you may be in that situation. I know since past the pandemic, there's a lot of creators out there that got that like spike, and ever since they got that spike, they felt like they gotta be go, 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 go. They've never really had an opportunity to kind of like hit a reset and take care of the things that they need to take care of, the big important things, the things behind the scenes that help with their like mental health and their clear minds to make them that much better of a creator. You don't take care of those things first, it can really screw you in the long run. Anyways, it's hard to believe that aside from like the keycap sets upstairs, which I might sell some of those on my site, these are the last things that I have to get rid of. We have some like gaming mice, I have a drone, I have 2 cell phones, headset, a streamer light, a final mouse. If any of my personal homies, by the way, are interested in any of these things, before I put them online, get a hold of me now. So if I like follow you or we like communicate in some way, reach out to me in whatever way that we communicate. Okay, I just wanted to end off on like a quick little thought, mainly just an excuse to show how epic this like new sit down shot is right here. But in all seriousness, the things that I talked about today are so crucial in any aspect. I know it's so tough to take a step back and focus on like the things that you need to focus on, especially when you're in like a state of momentum. These last couple weeks have been so challenging for me as a creator, because I've watched like a lot of my friends for the last couple weeks and chatted with them and just seen so much of their growth and their success. And that triggers so much like excitement and motivation for me to just like want to keep working. Over the last couple weeks, for example, my boys Big Rob and Jayhawk have hit so many milestones across their social media platforms. And while sitting back and watching that and talking to them about that, it was so hard to like hold myself back. Every day that I seen somebody else doing something good, I was like, man, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. Chasing that inspiration that we receive from friends or just creators we look up to, it's so addictive. But again, you know, just focusing on that big picture every now and then to tell yourself as a person, I know that if I just take a second and do these few things, it will be better in the long run. I assure you, if you do that on a daily basis and don't let things pile up, you will be in a much better state. Or if you take that time away, even if you are on this big like momentum hype train, just worrying about the little things so that way they don't pile up in the back of your head will improve not only you as a person, but you as a creator. And this last year, I've gotten so many compliments from a lot of fellow creators about how much stuff that I do. How do I do so much? But honestly, like I'm putting myself out there as almost a bit of a fraud for allowing all these little things to pile up over the last year. All this stuff that I had to get up for sale and just get rid of, or doing my taxes last minute. These are things that I should not be doing as a creator. I should be knocking this stuff out as soon as I can in small little increments so that way it doesn't pile up and become this big weight on my shoulders. So if you're lucky enough to be watching this early and you don't have a lot of those things piling up, make sure as you're making this progression in whatever it is that you do, that you're taking notes of that. You're taking time out of your day to eliminate those potential problems or things that could pile up. Or if you're in that current state where you feel like taking a little breather to just focus on all these things to get them out of the way will hurt you as a creator and as a person, I can assure you it will not do more damage to you and your brand and your creative thinking as much as it will to not take care of that problem now and to just let it continue to pile up and fester, and then having your real life problems start burdening your creative, free thinking kind of problems, I guess. Moral of the story is don't let your bullshit pile up. Take care of it. Clean it, forehead. Let's create some better content this year, but overall, let's create a better place for ourselves.